All right, we got bump and or jump. Just making sure I always forget to do something. I always forget. I'm sure it's fine. Go ahead and get cracking. Cool, we get 3 lives. There's 16 scenes. Good music. Sometimes those green trucks will drop lives. Stage 1. Uh-oh. My computer's trying to restart and update on me, even because I've been saying no for so long. I needed to not do that. There's a weird graphical glitch going on here. Oh no. Gotta be very careful here. Ah, of course. I had to try to adjust the game in the slot because it was glitching out on me and it reset it. Ah, I missed it. That was a free life. There's a little trick. I don't have enough time. You can pause it. Ah! Just as it comes out to see what it is and then try to collect it. Not really good at it, clearly, but boom. Oh, I was trying to avoid getting crashed into the wall. Now, the one nice thing is that when you do die, there is checkpoints within it. But fortunately, there's a lot of stages. So, I guess the green guy doesn't give you anything. You basically have to hop through that tight spot because it will knock you right into the land. You explode if you touch water, apparently. Hello, Zacharias. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing pretty good. Playing a pretty fun but tough game. Oops. As I died on the first stage, I'm just going to start over. No point in wasting lives. This game does have a continue code, but you need a second controller. And it's some sort of like, you got to hold select on one and hit A on the other controller. And some kind of weird thing like that. But I'm going to not use the continue code tonight. Just try to get as far as I can. I practiced this the other day, and I was able to get to stage 10. But I wasn't able to get much farther than that. Ooh. Uh, Woo, that was close. Oh, your kitchen is flooding? That's... Sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's got that feel to it. For sure, the Micro Machines. Whoa. Oh, I was mashing the A button, I never jumped. That's lame. This is one of the first games I played before I ever owned a Nintendo. One of my friends, family friends, had a Nintendo, and he had this game. I remember the games pretty much. He had this game, he had Contra, Zelda, a couple other games, and I used to play whenever I visited. Mostly we played Contra. Then once he got Zelda, and that's all we ever played for a while. Then he got a Super Nintendo, and then everything else. I was not as lucky. I was always the one who got everything late. But I did get to rent a lot of games, which is cool. And slowly but surely I did get myself a pretty solid amount of Nintendo games. Unfortunately, throughout my life, at some point, about two-thirds of it went missing, stolen, sold by other family members, just because I didn't have them close by me throughout different moves. Well, I'm doing bad. Probably because I'm talking. But I had a lot of games. I had about 35 or 40. I have about 40 now, but I've been picking up a lot of games recently, obviously. Alright, I think I'm warmed up here. I think I should probably try to play this a little bit more seriously. These cars are really, really annoying. Did all that. And I missed the free guy. I have an NES Classic. It's also hacked with the entire libraries from Japan, translated USA. I think I've tried to play it, and I didn't know how to play it. So, in order to do that, I'd have to look up guides or a strategy guide or something. Not a strategy guide, but like a user guide. I think I've tried it, I just didn't know how to play it. Jeez. What's hard is you want to avoid these cars because they will make you hit the curb. But by doing that, you also often miss your jump, which is really annoying. Boom, there you go. And all 15 or 16 stages, whatever it is, are pretty much equally hard, but they get a little bit harder near the end. But it's just hard in general. I mean, they give you 3 lives, but you don't get any continues. I found pretty much in this stage that you just have to keep jumping, especially in this tight area here, because any slight touch of that water and you're dead, and these guys bump right into you. If you don't crash any cars in level 1, you get a bonus what? Bonus points. Because that might be good to know on any level. Well, on a level like this, it's almost impossible. It's more like survival. 50k, huh? What's if you get free lives at every 100,000 or something? Is there like a set amount you can get a bunch of free lives? Because that's like the strategy to this game, is to have extra lives, as many as you can. Some stages is a little easier to do than others. Yeah, I couldn't avoid that. I always messed up that part. Leave it to Beaver theme. Not even sure what that theme is. I never watched that. I know it was before my time, but now you made me curious. Okay, let's see if I can make it past this level without destroying anything. It's going too slow. Seems like a viable strat, but it's also tough. Well, if I could do it on any stage, this should be the one. Give you a decent amount of space. I think I just killed the car, didn't I? I feel like if I was good enough to do that, I'd probably be good enough to make it through the game with all my lives anyway. Whoa. I know you can get a decent amount if you land on the, oh. No, I've never played Genghis Khan. I think I tried it once. I didn't know how to play it though, so I stopped playing it. Yeah, I grew up on like Nick at Night and stuff. Yeah, I did miss the engine check thing. It's annoying. I don't see them too often, and it was actually in the early stage and everything. Oh, I was trying to jump. Yeah, I see them like once every like couple stages. I've never grabbed one ever. It's unfortunate. Oh no. Yeah. Well, you know, I gotta with a game like that, like I said, it's tough if you don't understand the mechanics of it. So you really have to have not like a strategy guide, but at least the manual. I think the manual is probably helpful. But I've tried playing it before, but like I said, without some sort of game facts or something to tell me how I'm supposed to play the game, it's tough to get into a game like that. But I've definitely heard good things about it for people who've given it the time. Go, go, go. Should. Yeah, I barely made that one. I actually used to like Speed Racer. At first I didn't, but then like, oh man, I used to stay up late a lot when I was younger, my early teenage years, and it was always on like after midnight, and I like started actually watching it and sort of enjoying it after a while. You know, I lose more lives trying to earn them than I do if I would just play the game, so maybe I should stop trying to do that as much. I'm thinking about it. At least in the NES era, I don't know if they ever made a Dukes of Hazzard game. That's kind of surprising to me for some reason. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there isn't a Dukes of Hazzard game in on any video game potentially. Except I know I think because they made the movies later, and then eventually made it to like PlayStation or something. So much crud on the road. Woo. Yeah, the rights probably weren't able to be handled. Well, the thing is, I don't know. I think when it comes to Mario RPG, it was a different style RPG as well. But they tried to like do similar things with Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi Saga type stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like if they have it now, they probably never will. Oh. That gets me every time. That gets me every single time I get to the stage. You can't jump there. You have to avoid. I have to learn to recognize where that is. There it is. Annoying. Stage 5. This is first time I've made it here tonight, I think. Alright, this has got those really annoying buildings on the side. Yeah, this game is really tough. Not only that, it has a lot of levels. They get tougher and tougher. And there's some like tricky things that they do to mess you up. And since it's kind of trial and error, you don't really get a chance to learn the stages. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy ROM hacks? But anything good? notable? Yeah, I think when it comes to games with this type of difficulty, I think that they for I don't know. I like it's a port technically, so maybe they wanted to make it so difficult that you can beat it too quick. But like it takes a long time to beat this game, even if you don't die. So I'm surprised. Whoa. There we go. Yeah, Dragon Power. I've tried that game before. That game is pretty tough. Gotta pause the game for 1 second. This is probably one of my favorite soundtracks for some reason. Or the stage music is pretty fun. Let's do that. I gotta plug in. Just gotta plug in something before I forget. I appreciate a game that has different music for each stage. You don't always get that for anything in this range. That's pretty solid. Scene 4, 4 lives. I like this music too. It's like it got a different groove to it. I hate this stage though. I knew that spot was coming up. No. Oh, I made it. Ooh, I didn't think I was gonna make it. Gargoyles. I don't think I've ever seen it. The buildings. Oh my god, I forgot about the buildings. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I'll just go on with the flow. The thing is, I limited myself to games I own and the games that I'm purchasing each month. So that means naturally there will be some games that I won't be able to play because they're too expensive. But I have a plan for that, actually. Come on, it's just a curb. Don't gotta do me like that. I got a plan for games because I do have an EverDrive, so I do technically have access to everything. Don't do that. There we go. So I was thinking maybe once per month I will pick a game that I know I'll never purchase because they cost $3, $4, $5, $6, maybe $1,000. I'm never gonna buy those games. That I may use my EverDrive once a month for a game like that. Thought that'd be a pretty cool idea. Oh, this stage. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this stage at all. Now this one is tough. There's a spot where you kind of have to jump early because there's no way to do a one jump across. And and I'm not sure how I'm gonna be able to do it. If I just get lucky. Man, what was that? Stage 6? Stage 7? It's like halfway there. Because unfortunately, some of the games that are really expensive are actually not that good. So very little. I'm not concerned about those. But there's some games that are like a few $100s that are really good, and I would like to play them. So, like I said, I might do that to sort of buffer in some good games because I don't want to just always be playing really terrible games all the time. Gotta throw some good ones in there. But like I said, they gotta be like games that I would never buy. Like if the game is $30, then one day I'll buy it because it's $30. But if it's like 250, 400, something like Bonk's Revenge or something, or Box Adventure, it's actually a game I really like, but I can't afford to buy it. So does that mean I should never play it? That's be like bonus game would be an EverDrive game. Otherwise, I'll be playing like a ton of really crappy baseball games at a certain point, which I don't want to do. Whoa. Hey! Oh, what do I do? I'm supposed to like mash a button, right? I'm mashing like crazy. Whew. I was gonna crash into the wall or not. No, they're not. That is not true. I don't know where you heard that. Did all that mashing for nothing. Now my elbow hurts. Really, I think at this point, if you want to get good deals on like old games, especially NES games, you just need to go to yard sales, garage sales, and ask people if they got stuff laying around. Go. That's usually the best way. And then you can scour some. Yeah, auctions. It depends because you're paying. It depends on the game. But like at a certain point, oh, I missed it. You will be paying pretty much the same as if you were to buy it off of like Lucky Games or DK Oldies or something. As much as people like to say that's not true, it's definitely true. Go. You gotta like, you go on eBay and you go to one of those people that have like stacks and stacks of games. You can choose whatever you want. You're paying $5 and plus $3 for shipping, so you're paying $7-8 for a really crappy game. And you could probably find that anywhere else on the planet for $5. You just gotta find it. Yeah, auctions, like physical auctions. Yeah, that's a good place to go if someone's offloading. But yeah, you got to be like creative about it. Think outside the box. Because I look everywhere, different outlets, auctions, online sites, and for the cheaper games, it's pretty much hit or miss for a couple bucks here and there. But once you start looking for games that are worth more than, I didn't see that guy drop that, worth more than like 20 or 30, that's where you get some discrepancies. Also, like, if you ever talk games with like coworkers, you might find out that somebody has a box of Nintendo games that they don't really care about, and probably may or may not think are actually worth anything. You'd be like, hey, what are you looking to get rid of those for? And as long as you don't make them feel like you're buying their stuff to triple the value on eBay, you can probably get a pretty good deal. But of course, that depends on who you hang around. So, oh my goodness. Also marketplaces too, and Craigslist, but that also depends because people are onto it. They think their games are worth a lot, and it's really not. But if you're looking for games that are newer, like we're talking like PlayStation games, PlayStation 2 games, I mean, you'll find those everywhere. People getting rid of them because nobody really wants to play. There's no really good way to play like a PlayStation 2 game, like a CD. So chances are you can get a pretty good deal on those kind of games. But that just depends if you want to collect PlayStation 2 games. So. Flea markets, another good, like we're talking local flea markets, not near big cities, where like people bring boxes of stuff, don't really even know what they have, and usually you won't find anything too crazy, but like I've seen stacks of like Super Nintendo games. There'd be some junky ones in there, but they're like, yeah, $30, take the whole box, and you end up making out pretty good on a deal. So. Are you serious? I missed that. Yeah, if I could have a time machine, I would go back to like 1992, 93 even, because Nintendo games were getting offloaded like crazy. Actually, I would say 93 when the Super Nintendo was really popular. It was, you can get games so cheap. They really weren't worth too much then either. And of course, there's the games that were released in the last year of the NES's like life cycle that only a few people end up purchasing because the games were either good or maybe even not that good, but people were too busy saving up their money to buy a Super Nintendo or a PlayStation or whatever it is. What is this, like stage 2 I'm struggling on? $5K. I do them often. If I'm not streaming, I'm probably practicing a game. So right now I have a couple games that I want to play, but I have to practice them because I can't beat them. This was going to be one of them. But unfortunately, it's as hard as this game is, it's nowhere near as hard as the ones that I want to play next. It'll be Top Gun Second Mission, Track and Field 2 actually. Oops. Yeah. Then that's it. Now the thing is, I was practicing Track and Field 2 and I could beat almost all the events. The problem is that game relies on mashing of one button consistently. And not only that, as fast as I can be, sometimes it's still not enough to beat some of the events. It's really ridiculous. So, oh, hey, I can't jump. Why can't I jump? It wasn't letting me jump. That was crazy. Yeah, Top Gun 2 is super hard. I haven't beaten a single mission in that one. Track and Field 2, half of them aren't too bad. But without Turbo, Track and Field 2 is impossible. I won't say it's impossible, but you're going to be spending at least 10 to 20 hours practicing these events, mashing, and it actually hurt my elbow really bad. So I'm like, I don't know. So what I might end up doing, because granted it's not like an amazing game or anything, I do have an NES Advantage somewhere, so I might play the game with the NES Advantage with Turbo. Why not? It obviously helps you with a lot of the events, but it doesn't necessarily make the game that much easier. Just a little bit easier. Having a hard time following which one, this game. I like Ninja Gaiden. Not good at it. Can't beat any of them. And there's one for the DS. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I love the DS. I mean, all the handhelds, honestly. Like, the Game Boy Advance had awesome games. The DS also does. 3DS is solid. I have a Vita, which is modified to play PlayStation games and Nintendo, Super Nintendo, all that stuff. Plays PSP games as well. So that's pretty sweet that I can kick back. And I don't really care for the Vita buttons necessarily when playing old school games, but it's pretty solid. If you're looking for a Game Boy Advance, I recommend getting, well, you can go one of two ways. You can either get the SP, try to get the second generation SP with the 3 levels of brightness, or I would go with a DS Lite, because that also plays Game Boy Advance games and the screens look really nice. That's what I'd recommend. A DSi, yeah. Yeah, the DS, like I have, there's 2 DSs, right? There's the original DS, which has a terrible screen. Then there's the one where it's a little bit more, oh, that was such a waste. Then there's the one with the better clamshell. It's more like a 3DS, the regular DS. I think that was a DS Lite, or DSi maybe. Those are pretty good. But if you want to be able to play Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, then you want to get the SP. So like me, I have Game Boy Color. Oh my god, I hate this stage. I have Game Boy and Game Boy Color games that I like to play, so I'll play them on the SP, even though I have a Game Boy Color. It doesn't have a light on it. They're not modified. Probably another half hour or so. I'm giving this game a pretty good run, and what I'll probably end up doing is once I get far enough in this game, I might resort to using continue code, but I have to find another NES controller to do that. But I will be on for a while. Come on back. Oh, no. DSi. Oh, the DSi, I think, got rid of the Game Boy Advance port, didn't it? Yeah, the DS Lite, exactly. I think that's why I kind of remembered about the DS Lite being the best option for that. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. It's the weekend. Next couple nights. I might be using continue code tomorrow. So we'll get through Bump and Jump one way or another. Am I gonna make it? Oh, I made it. Yeah, those DS Lites, they're really inexpensive. They sold a lot, and they weren't even expensive when they were new. But just get one that doesn't have a jacked up screen, and you're good to go. Now, when the DS first came out, I was on like a kick of getting all the DSs when they first launched. Same thing with the PSP. So I have a launch DS, a launch DS Lite, launch PSP. I don't have a launch Vita. It took me a while to get that one. Hey, no worries. I'll be here. If not, see you soon. Oh, it's hard game, but it is fun. As long as you don't think that you're gonna actually beat the game, because it can be frustrating. But even like right now, I'm just I'm having fun with it. I don't feel any pressure. I'm not doing very good though, but. Boom. They had this game for Atari television, I think. Maybe even Commodore 64. It was popular for a little while in that era. Oops. Oh. Oh, there was a free life I missed out on. Get lazy. It is better. It's way better than a Game Boy Advance. Like I said, the original DS could play Game Boy Advance games, but the screen was not good. It was not great. The little gray clamshell looking thing. But the lights, I have a red one, and I love that thing. Now, it doesn't play Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, so that's kind of like a drawback. If you have those kind of games. And I do, I have... See, that's another thing, it's funny. So, there was a time where... So I wanted to get all the Game Boy, or all the Final Fantasy related Game Boy games, and there's a lot of them. So Legend, and or the 3 Legend games, and Final Fantasy Adventure, and they were all at GameStop except for Final Fantasy Legend, the first Final Fantasy Legend. So I have 2 and 3. I have all the I have Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior technically. 1, 2, and 3. Like, I bought everything, and I paid like $5 to $7 each in GameStop back in those days, and I just picked up every single one that I saw. And there was only a couple games I didn't find. One of them was for the Game Boy Advance. It was the Final Fantasy 3, which is also known as 6, and Final Fantasy Legends, the original one. Also, Dragon Ball Z, the second one, I think. There's like a Dragon Ball Z game for the Game Boy Advance. And I'm so glad that I got the ones that I did, because they're pretty expensive now to try to find them. To get all the Final Fantasy Legends games. Oh boy. So an EverDrive is a flash cart. So what you do is, just pause it for a second. So the way the EverDrive works is that it has an SD card usually, or you have to load it on some way with USB. And what it does is you load the ROMs on there, and what it does is it dumps the ROM data, which is the game data, onto the cart and into the system. So the system doesn't know any better. It actually gets the game. So as long as it's able to communicate with the EverDrive, you can play the game essentially. So it's not like emulation, but you're getting like the compiled version of the game that the NES or Game Boy can read. And it's pretty awesome, because some games you could, for the most part, I think every EverDrive for every system, you can load not only all the games for that system on it, but it's usually, they're not region locked. So like my NES one, which I have, has all the NES games, has ROM hacks, it has Japanese games. You can put PAL games on there, which may or may not run correctly, but you can do it, and the EverDrive allows you to do that. So it's software emulated in a sense. So some things may not work, but generally the brand EverDrive, it's not like a multi-cart, but the brand EverDrive is usually pretty solid, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's a good DS Dragon Ball game. Oh, getting my butt kicked. What's great is the amount of games that were released in Japan that never were released in the USA or other countries that are 100% playable and really good. So like, they have, for the Game Boy Advance, they have like these cool like drifting race games, and like tons of them because they're super popular over there. But we didn't get any game like that. I don't remember the names of them, but I just remember being like, wow, these games are sweet. And of course, if you can find translated ROMs, dump them on there so you can actually play the games. Yeah, it's pretty much like the real thing, exactly. So the only difference is when the system is connected to... Oops. Go. So when a system, like a Nintendo, connects to the cartridge, it connects to a PCB, and it has usually a chip on there that has all the information. The only difference is on the NES, the chip has burned data on it that only has one game, which is, like right now, Bump and Jump. But if it had more games on it, it would just read that and load whatever that is. which is why you can buy like a multi-cart for like 3 cents, and it's got all this ROM data on there, and it just plays on any old system because it doesn't care about that. It's just trying to find the data to match up to the motherboard on the Nintendo. Yeah, initial D arcade game. Yeah. What time we got? 10 o'clock? Alright, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to be back in about 5 minutes. I'm going to look for a spare controller so that I can use the continue code. So I can get somewhere in this game because I'm not getting anywhere. Well, that was a failure. I think I probably have a spare one in the basement, so the second controller for continue option is going to have to wait till tomorrow night. Fortunately. So apparently you have to like hold select on player 1, tap A or something in controller 2, and then do something with controller 1 again, but I couldn't find my spare controller. Not in a timely fashion, at least. I also was trying to find my NES Advantage because I was going to use that to play Track and Field 2 tonight, but that failed as well. It's alright, I got all day tomorrow to look for it. Oh. Action 52. Yeah, you know, have that on my EverDrive. It's pretty miserable, just like you would think. This is stage 1, isn't it? Let's just start over. Alright. This is going to be the serious run, apparently. Jeez. See, even level 1 is tough. Oh no. There's so many little things they could have done to make this game way more manageable. One is give you like 2 or 3 continues, right? Another is not make it so you explode when you touch anything. Okay. Another thing that I was thinking about too, about this whole series, which I'm enjoying a lot, by the way, is I'm practicing these games before I play them a little bit, obviously. But a lot of the games have built-in cheat codes, in a sense. So, like, I thought, like, well, I mean, realistically, if this was 1989 or 1990, whenever this game came out, and I played this game for 2-3 hours in one night and could never beat it, what would you do? Well, you'd probably go to the game store, find a guide, or get yourself some Nintendo Power. I mean, that's where you get all your secrets from. So, like, in theory, it should be like, if I can't handle the game, if I can't beat it normally, right? That the next time I stream it, I should be able to use, if I could find it in, like a Nintendo Power Guide, whatever tips and tricks that they give me. Be sort of like reliving the era instead of just resorting to YouTube and speed runs and whatever else. Obviously not Game Genie. I don't want to do that. Let's try to make this more appealing to watch. Because I'm sure if you've ever seen something called NES Mania, it's I think his name is the Mexican Runner. He plays and beats all the NES games, but he plays them blind if he's never played them before. And some games he's spent 30-40 hours playing because he makes it so he's not allowed to look up anything or get any help, and which is cool. Like, I commend him for it, but like at the same time, I don't got 40 hours to spend playing this game. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I figured if I give a game a pretty good enough try, play it through, figure out the best way to. I'm not gonna make it. Figure out the best way to do the clear conditions, and I'm pretty happy with that. This gets me every time. So that's 3 lives I lost. And what's brutal is you gotta start the whole thing over. The whole thing. And there's 15 stages. There is an actual ending or a cutscene. And technically, it's 32 total stages. But you just do 16 twice, I think. So in theory, if you're gonna beat this game, you should be playing all 32, but the game's good. It's not that good. It's like deciding that getting past a certain level in Pac-Man is beating it, but then like, oh, you actually don't beat the game till you get the kill screen, which, you know, only the masters of Pac-Man will do. Oh no, look at that. That's true, see? There's nothing wrong with gaining the power, Nintendo power. It's an officially licensed power code, right? Which I would be using right now if I had a second controller. I can sleep good at night knowing I got my information from the Nintendo power. No, I didn't find one. No. I've got like a bunch of them, but considering with the time, and I thought I had one in my bedroom. I think it's in the basement. And I was already down there looking for the NES Advantage. I didn't find that. It's down there somewhere. And my piles and piles of retro gear. Mostly wires. If I had a way to stream, oops, sorry, stomach it. RF, I could stream Atari 2600. I've got it's not called an EverDrive, but it's like an EverDrive. I forget what they call it, but I have the entire Atari collection, Atari 2600 collection on it, which is cool. Not that the Atari is my favorite console or anything, but just saw that free life just get thrown down the street like garbage. I have pretty good memories of the 2600. I was really little when I got it. I remember playing Asteroids and Pac-Man and all that stuff. And I had an Atari when I was young, but it got sold at a yard sale when I was young. I was probably like 8 years old. I don't really think I even cared too much. But we ended up getting a Nintendo eventually. But I had like the trackball and everything. But like probably early 2000s, I ended up buying an Atari 2600 off of eBay with like 20 games, tons of controllers, the paddle sticks, for like 60, 70 bucks, I think I got. And I still have all of that stuff too, which is pretty sweet. Oh. Yeah. I have a very small percentage. Oh, I missed the thingy again. I have a very small percentage of stuff I grew up with. Unfortunately. Oh, that's what happened to me last time I was here. You probably kept it because, I mean, the way I look at it is it wasn't worth much. Nobody really wanted it when Nintendo came out, so unless you had a fond memory of it, most people just gave those things away, didn't really care about them. Used to be able to go to a yard sale, find a system, tons of games because they were like $1 each because of the crash. People were just getting rid of that stuff. They didn't want it. So most people, that's just what they did. Or they just held on to it and they're like, well, why sell it? I'll just hold on to it. Do. I don't even think this controller I'm using is my main controller. What is this tape on the back of it? Yeah, I only had a couple Ninja Turtles. I wanted all of them, obviously. I didn't have any G.I. Joes. I never got into G.I. Joe. I think the Turtles were my G.I. Joe. Like, you either like one or the other or both. And I was all about the Ninja Turtles. But I also had like a decent amount of like... Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep. Decent amount of like WWF wrestlers and stuff like that. I had a lot of that. Matchbox cars. Tons of them. Those are all gone too. And I had them for like 20 years. Uh-oh, I'm gonna crash. And I remember when the Ninja Turtles first came out, I wanted all 4 of them. It took me... They were expensive too. I just wanted Michelangelo with the nunchucks, man. I don't care about anybody else. Finally got one. And then I had a cousin who like was spoiled constantly, who had all of them, didn't even play with them. They'd just be missing pieces. He had all the Batman figures, cars, had everything. I'm gonna give this a couple more runs, and that'll probably be it for tonight. Yeah, Michelangelo was always my favorite, just because in a movie, even though I did watch the cartoon, it was really the movie that sold me on the Ninja Turtles. And of course, just the first one. Look at these dudes. There we go. I think I've only seen the first and second and like part of the third. And after that, I just was not about the Ninja Turtles anymore. There we go. Yeah, Raph was cool. I'd probably put Don at the bottom, but that's fine. You got the order mostly right for me. Yikes! I'm gonna crash. No. Donatello was always the one with all the wisdom. Kind of boring. Oh my goodness. Bumping right into me. There we go. I haven't even looked that side. I'm supposed to be getting some snow too. I'm not sure how much. It's apparently snowing now. I can't see it outside. I'm not even worried about it. I'll wake up tomorrow, I'll look out there, open up the garage, get the snowblower out. Oh, I'm so careless. Get the snowblower out, clean off the cars, and then the snow's probably going to be melted by the time the evening hits. This part gets a little tricky. Oh, I lost my jump ability. Yeah, I'm on the, I'm just east, whoa, 2 hours north of, New York City. This part destroys me every time. 2 lives killed. So I'm not really going to get hit that bad. But the western side of New York, where Buffalo is and stuff, go. They're always getting blasted. I bet I can make it through this entire stage by mashing A. Every time I get to this point, I know, I'm aware what's going to happen, and I still fall for the same stuff every single time. 2 hours northwest. Yeah, this game, it's still fun. It's like, it's rare that a game is this hard, and still fun. Out northeast? Like, cause you're in Canada, right? Up there somewhere? Toronto-ish area? go. Woo. Yeah, I'm from New York. I don't really know geography. I just know New York, New York City, Florida, California, Midwest. And obviously Canada is just the entire northern border of the United States. That's all Canada. There's nothing in between. Well, how do I not know that's going to happen to me every time? So what was it, stage 7? I think I made it to once, like an hour ago. I'll be honest, I've been chatting up, not really paying attention, not playing all serious. And a lot of this game too is I'm kind of on autopilot at this point, which is not good because I should be paying attention, because there are certain areas on these later stages that if I don't remember that I'm there, I mess up the jump. But tomorrow night, I shall be using the continue code. Yeah, see that area I was paying attention. Exactly. I can't just be like, sorry guys, I can't chat with you. I'm gonna mute my microphone and close the chat. Gotta beat this game. I mean, sometimes I might be like that, but I don't know. I'll get there. Just a random bulldozer just cruising down the road. Oh man. Well, I think I'm gonna give it one more run. Yeah, yeah, if I'm just kind of like not breathing, or maybe breathing heavy, and I'm not responding to anybody, that means I'm trying to get stuff done. So I'm gonna give this one more try, and then after that, I'm gonna call it a night. Had some fun with it. Played an hour and a half. Tomorrow night, I'll definitely get serious, and I'll use continue code, and we'll get through the game. And I don't want to be playing this game every night for a month. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Because I need to uh, play track and field too. And Top Gun Second Mission. My goodness, I don't know how I'm gonna beat that game, but we'll see. Yeah, I got up to 40 hours pretty much. Except that thing doesn't say I have 40 hours, does it? I think my timer is jacked up again. One thing I'm having trouble with when it comes to, I'm using Live Split, is that it does not like to save properly. And I can't just leave it up because it'll freeze and it'll lose. So I need to figure that out. But what I did is I made the document, and I put in the times that I beat the games, and it automatically saves the total time. Just put like a little I put a sum formula in it, so it adds everything up. So I know what it is when I have the actual times that I beat the games. So I might have to readjust because I think you're right. I think it's supposed to be more than that. Oh, 40 hours of practice. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Right, I don't have 40 hours to practice, but I'm almost up to 40 hours with all these games. I mean, we're on a 19th game. It's a lot of games. Matter of fact, I think I spent the most time playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Don't ask me how I survived that one. Yeah, I also have extended time on Blades of Steel, where I stopped the timer after I beat the game, but I decided to play it again on the pro difficulty, and I ended up beating it. Oh, look at that! Oh no! I got distracted by the little whatever that thing, spark plug looking thing was. Yeah, I got really good at that game. I was surprised. Like I said, I did not think I was going to be able to handle that. I ended up being able to go through with it. It was awesome. Had a couple decent strats to get some points, and there was some close games too. Whoa. Now, one thing I might need to figure out in the next couple of months, or whenever, is that there's a way you can play two-player on emulators. Oh, and I'd be curious to know if I can do that again. Oh no! Oh, because I just figured it out. When you run out of gas, you cannot jump. Out of power, I guess it's called. Yeah, it would have been really boring to play Blades of Steel on the easiest difficulty just to play through the game. I had no intentions of doing that, which is why I picked the middle, because I knew the beginning level was easy. When I had played the pro level before, before the stream, I was getting smacked around, but because I played the mid range, the college level, I think it was called, I got good enough to get through the pro stage. So it's just one of those games you play it enough, you start to learn it a little bit, you get a little bit better, and it was more fun because the games were close, and but I still managed to win. But that's gonna be it for tonight. Tomorrow night, you already know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be doing this game again, and we're gonna get through it with the continue code. I know I have extra controllers. I just didn't want to spend 5-10 minutes looking for them during this live stream, but I'll get that all set up. I'm also going to try to get my NES Advantage with the Turbo so that we can do some of the Track and Field 2 events. I think even though some of them I've done with just crazy tapping, my 40-year-old plus arms can't take that for 5 hours straight. So I may be using an assist and using the NES Advantage to get through some of those and get through that game. Then after that, then I'm stuck with Top Gun second mission. So, and after that, then it's all whatever I feel like doing. So, and I might add one game what I'll probably do is make a list of games that I know I'll never purchase because they're expensive, and pick one of those. Maybe have somebody choose which. I'll do a posting, or whatever they call it, and then I'll have somebody choose which game I should play for that month, and then use the EverDrive for that. Kind of mix it up for the month, and continue on. Yeah, poll. That's the word I'm looking for. I think that'd be pretty cool. And then at some point, I'm not sure when because I'm really enjoying the NES games right now. At some points, I may look for Super Nintendo games and go that route, or mix it in. I'm not really sure, but right for now, for next couple months, at least the next month or two, I think it's still going to be NES for now. So it doesn't mean I won't do regular streams either. I could just have a regular stream, a casual stream like I did the other day. So that's what's been going on through my head. Either way, tonight is done. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow.